For my second arrangement today, I'd like to make a diagonal nagire. Nagire refers to a tall vase as opposed to the moribana low that we used before. This particular container was designed by the head of my school. It's very unique and wonderful to use because you can use it in this position, or it's also possible to use it this way. It has a hollow bottom in the bottom at this point too. Today I am going to use it in this particular position. And where we used the kenzan in the previous arrangement, this one I'm just going to use various crossing vines that I'm going to interweave together to help hold my materials in place. I've already started a format one, which I've put together to save a little bit of time. But what you do is these are dried kiwi vines, and I've just interwoven them back and forth together. I've kept out a few pieces so that hopefully you can see how I did this. And actually, if I'm doing this to you, I should do it this way. I'm going to do it to me, just to be on the safe side. And what I'm going to do is just weave these through to extend the lines that I've already created and just accentuate them a little bit more. And although they're dried and brittle, they do still have a bit of spring to them. So the tension in that springiness is what will help hold them in place. And also give me a little bit more places to put the stems of my material and hold those in place. So I've chosen a diagonal style because I wanted to give a little contrast to all the straight lines. So, and by using the kiwi vine, which has lovely curves and twists, again, we get a sense of movement in what is basically a static material. With this particular arrangement, I've decided to use Fatsia japonica leaves to sort of give, again, a different shape and a different texture. These came from my yard, and again, I'm trying to emphasize the passing of the seasons by using materials that have very different colorations than the typical green that you would see on Fatsia leaves. Okay, and then this one, again, emphasizing the diagonal. So I'm trying to place these, oops. And I'm using the kiwi vine to help hold them in the position that I want them to keep. All right, I think that's good. I don't even mind the tears and the obvious insect chewing on this particular one, because to me that shows the life that this plant has lived, and it imparts, again, a little bit about what we all go through at various times. And all I'm going to add to this, I think, is just some flowers. I think that's enough of a strong leaf and line statement. So I've chosen these rust-colored mums. Again, I think they're complementary to the browns that are in the arrangement, but they're a different tone and a different shape, and they add softness where these are a little bit hard. I've trimmed off most of the leaves. A lot of the times when you buy chrysanthemums in the store, the leaves have actually gotten a bit tatty and rotten, and those are not going to help you. They'll just rot quicker in the water. So if I can eliminate those leaves, then that's probably going to make this last a lot longer. Actually, this face is a little bit more forward, so I think this one might actually work a little better. Trying to weave the stem down through to hold it in place, but not dislodge the ones I've already gotten in place. A little bit shorter. This type of arrangement would work well on a hall entry table. Again, it's really meant to be viewed from the front, so that way you would want it to be in a position, that's just not going to work there, be in a position where you can enjoy it as you walk in. And no, I don't like that either. This is the disadvantage of doing it from behind, is sometimes it's hard to know exactly where you want it to go. Let's try a little bit shorter. What I'm trying to do is, again, emphasize that diagonal that I'm talking about. So whereas these will carry your eye upward, I want to bring the flowers to bring your eye back down toward the front, but I also want to have them fairly forward, again, to engage the viewer as much as possible. Oop. And try to get it to balance on the opposite side of the container. I think I'm just going to do a quick check. I'm okay with that. So there's a diagonal arrangement, and normally we would not do it just flat on. If you were to display it, you would want to have it at a slight angle. Again, it just gives it a little bit more interest than straight ahead. And that's our second diagonal nagire arrangement.